Welcome back, Hodlers. Today we're talking about Polkadot, easily one of the tokens that I'm most bullish on. You guys all know, I've talked about Polkadot quite a lot on this channel. We're huge Polkadot bulls over here, and we're not discriminating. There are other good smart contract platforms, but I think Polkadot is going to do something special for the space. But today we're going to talk about why I think Polkadot is going to reach back to its all-time high, $50 roughly, give or take, just like Cardano did, just in a very similar fashion. So we're going to take a look at that really quick. And to do that, we're going to look at this first article here to kind of illustrate my point as well. I'm going to be adding obviously my own commentary, as I always do, to this article to kind of give him my opinion on what I think. So they write 3 reasons why Polkadot could be the next altcoin to hit new all-time highs, which I do firmly believe this because we have, obviously Cardano made a huge jump up back to its all-time high. I had been saying for a while Cardano was looking like it wanted to go back to its all-time high, and we have the exact same thing happening with Polkadot now. We have a very bullish sentiment around everything, and we have a good reflection of that in the charts. So in this article, they discuss a few things. Now, number one, the dot chart is looking pretty bullish for the 4-hour. So we'll take a look at this chart here. Obviously, we had these couple hour spikes, this 8-hour pump up. Actually, you could probably even say that it's more of a 12-hour pump up. But we had this huge pump from our $26, $27 mark going up to around $30. Of course, right now it's sitting at around $32.86, but it's still a huge rise. So in the article, they state from the absolute bottom, basically that bottom that we talked about where it was super profitable to buy Polkadot, that what was it, $10.36. I don't know if I have that on my exchange saying $10.36, but still pretty low. I know it was like around $10, definitely close to that. So DOT went from $10 all the way up to $30. So a huge increase, roughly a 205% increase for Polkadot to its high of 31.70, and of course we've beaten that as of them writing this article. So obviously there is that bullish momentum right now for Polkadot. One big thing to keep in mind as well is the ultimate trading volume down here in the last 4 hours is significantly greater than trading volume throughout the rest of Polkadot, because the rest of the near term, the rest of since this dip. Obviously we had a lot of trading volume. Actually, if you take a look here, obviously we had a lot of trading volume down in the capitulation event, and peeking at my charts here, get away. But obviously we have a lot of volume now, indicating that there's a lot of trading pressure on Polkadot right now. So it is looking very bullish for Polkadot in the near term. I do think it is going to increase roughly to its $50. Obviously, we have parachains as well coming out on the community. So we do have a lot of parachains coming. We already had these auctions on KSM, and now they're coming onto Polkadot. There's a significant amount of hype that come with these auctions. So obviously, they've been conducting the auctions over in Kusama, and that has been a pretty successful endeavor. Obviously, there was a lot of hype around those projects, and there's going to be a lot of hype around these projects as well. So obviously, what happens here with these auctions is Polkadot is getting locked up into these auctions. They're not being traded. So in essence, that kind of removes that dot from the market for a short period of time, which then in turn increases trading scarcity as well. So we definitely could see an increase based on that alone, which they are detailing here in the article. Now, we also have a lot of ecosystems and projects working alongside and working in the Polkadot ecosystem. Obviously, with some wallets, just one notable wallet here is Fearless Wallet. We've talked about that continuously on the channel. Big PolkaSwap fan, so we have that there. Then in Substrate base, you probably know of a lot of these. Akala is one big one. They're actually going for the Polkadot auctions. We have PolkaSwap, we have Sora, we have Polkadex, we have Reef. So there's a lot of different projects, Ocean Protocol, a lot of projects that I'm in. And I'd encourage a lot of people to kind of dive into some of these projects as well. I think the whole ecosystem is going to do well in the long term anyway. I know it's a lot of tokens, but you can easily find some good gems within these structures. Obviously, we are invested in a couple. Now, the last reason that they give is obviously the trading volume, and that will transition us into our own chart analysis and talking about where we are currently and where Polkadot could go in the near term, or what is the pathway? What are our levels that we have to beat to reach our $50,000? Now, of course, we have some kind of hurdles to get over. Now, we've made it over one massive hurdle, which is our $30 mark. Now, why is $30 a hurdle? Well, obviously, we've been rejected from the 30 once before right here. We fell through this 30, tried to bounce back up, and it kind of ended up being a line of resistance. So we fell past that 30 once we broke it. It ended up being a line of support right here and here. So we have a significant amount of ping offs off that $30 mark. That makes it basically our line of resistance, now our kind of pseudo line of support until we start building above it. But I do think at this point we are looking pretty bullish for Polkadot, so I don't think we're going to fall below the $30 anytime soon. I do think at this point we're going to quickly get up to $41. Now I do think once we do hit $41, we are going to battle with that for a little bit, and we could just trade within this zone. But most likely we will make that move up to our $50 mark. Again, $40 is issued the same way. It's acted as a point of resistance here all along. The big distribution, the Wyckoff distribution, all along that point. And then also kind of acted as a line of support when we were above that point. And then again as a resistance below. So it's consistently been a number. So a $41 USD is definitely going to be a part that we have to hit and beat for Polkadot. And then of course we have our $50, our new all-time high, or our old all-time high. And then at that point we go into price discovery and find out exactly where we're going to be. And additionally too, it's not just Polkadot, it's KSM, because usually when one pumps, the other does too. KSM obviously being the canary network for the substrate code base for Polkadot. A lot of things are tested on KSM before they go live on Polkadot, but that doesn't mean that KSM doesn't have its own healthy ecosystem. KSM is currently sitting at $388, and I famously said numerous times over and over that basically KSM will never, ever go below $400. And of course, KSM continuously went below $400. Boy, was I wrong, but I still think KSM below $400 is a steal, and we're obviously making it back up to that $400 level. Where KSM can go is actually incredibly interesting, because if you're not aware of KSM, KSM has a very low token supply, and it is the test network, but it's also kind of deemed as the wild cousin for Polkadot. So where Polkadot maybe has more fleshed out and more it's hard to really describe, more projects that fall in line with their protocol, KSM kind of just allows anything. It's a wild west. It's just the wild cousin of Polkadot. So really anything goes on KSM. So it obviously garners a bit of a different ecosystem, but in a lot of ways that attracts a lot of people. I'm attracted to it. I'm almost thinking of even getting a KSM tattoo. Just saying, you know what? I probably will. KSM hits $1,000, I will get a KSM tattoo. Done deal. There we go. Easy target to hit to. Hold me to it. Ultimately, though, I get asked where I think Polkadot can go by the end of this market cycle, and I do think most likely we are going to see, at least from here, we're definitely going to see a $150 Polkadot around there, give or take. Now, again, I as much as I am bullish in saying $150, and as much as I think $150 is going to come, I'm going to take profits earlier. I don't want to get caught up at that $150 mark. I would probably say I'll probably take profits around maybe $85, $90 for Polkadot, little by little, very small increments. How I do it is dollar cost average in, dollar cost average out. So as I get to those high levels, I'll start dollar cost averaging. Obviously, maybe pick up my selling as prices go a little bit higher. And then I still will have a chunk of Polkadot that I'll keep for later. And then most likely I'll buy back in at a cheaper time and increase my Polkadot stores. That's it for me. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give me a like, subscribe to the channel for more crypto news and content, and of course, happy hodling.